lot of crew on sheet.
More breeze coming. Here it is.
jump on a ganja bus. We no wonder no weed beat under us. You're rolling up, roll like it under us. You're smoking up, rasta no sprinkle dust. Too much ecstasy, make man a exodus. Too much fantasy, can't come next to us. With the ganja we always notorious. So just answer me if you feel glorious. We have weed in our cakes and Oreos. Believe me though, we better than your Marlboro. You want borrow from someone you hardly know. This Marley bro, I tell him no, if you take it slow. You're telling me no, say I want to start the show. Like cool, Johnny Depp and you want to blow. You're short of breath, that mean you are fall below. You start to take substances up in your nose. So night now where you find me, some boy want reach cloud 90. We're smoking like a genie, this funky and the greenie. So night now where you find me, some boy want reach cloud 90. We're smoking like a genie, this funky and the greenie.
On the ganja bus, they coming after us. We're making stops all over Los Angeles. On the block, but the weed they get scandalous. And we run around, police can't handle us. They wanna crop the bus, and know it's obvious. They never wanna come around, just a rowdy bunch. They go el poder, tú no aguanta. Yo sé que el juego es difícil para usted. Despiértate, no dejes tu gente ver tu situación cuando no puedes mantener. En fuerza que nosotros enséñale. Deja tu vida sin razón, escóndate, móntate. Flying up to San Tropez, and if you want, we can jet to Montego Bay.
John, you're overplaying your part. So good. There is. How are you going to? About it. You're happy. No, you told me. So let's make I told you to go.
Jack Daniels, non-filter camels, crates full of samples, Dutchess and egg temples. One Nike in the grave, one Nike in the maze. It all makes sense after the shrooms and the purple haze. It all makes sense after the shrooms and the purple haze.
Well, let me see you wind up there. Let me see you wind up there. Well, let me see you wind up there. Let me see you wind up there. Me want to 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 see you wind up there.
It all makes sense after the shrooms and the purple haze.
Watch was invented in 1924 by Ulver and Solveson. They could get a decent amount of shagging in on their love cruising up the Baltic. So it divides the night into 3 shags of 4 hours each, and a day into 2 petting sessions of 6 hours, a shag at lunch and 1 at dinner too. It enables 2 couples to rotate so that they can switch partners as the days progress. And that's how it works. Wind's dropped again a little bit, yeah, going down.
Right, Richard, what do you think were the key points, navigation-wise, for the trip so far?
Key points so far, well, I mean, there's the obvious ones of the race tactics themselves, but more importantly, it's trying to fix a position down below, which is the same for those of you that haven't been down below on a race, is trying to fix a position with a wet paper chart in a tumble dryer on about full revs, and using a pencil and a pair of compasses.
In a public lavatory with about 5.
It smells like a public lavatory, you're right, Gators. Other key points, weather. Not knowing when, how, where and when we're going to get it from, and then finding that what we didn't have, we didn't know, didn't worry us anyway.
It's a tiring business, this sailing game.
Right, just you want to ease the main. Just let me come to. Right, about there. Yep. I fell over. Yeah, I know. No. Ready, Phil? I think my big ass video will work. Bill full of blue.
video off, cut. Right, let's do it again. This time, John, don't fall over really.
darkness came, I could not find the light. I could not see myself. I could not feel myself. Reached out with both my hands to hold on to what's right. I could not see myself. I could not feel myself. My heart was full of fear. I could not see myself. No, I could not feel myself. It washed away my dreams. I watched them disappear. I try to reach you, Lord. Oh, I try to feel you, Lord. Out of the darkness, the sun began to rise. I saw the kingdom and the glory with my eyes. And I could see you, Lord. Yeah, I could feel you, Lord. Yes, in my heart. Yes, in my heart.
Okay, everyone cry.
Right, John, can you be a spokesman? Just explain, for the benefit of the camera, our recent experience.
Right, Graham, break.
Right, what happened was
You break
we
the
were
rudder,
going along at
Graham,
about
break the
13
rudder.
knots, and usually when that happens, something goes wrong. Backstay snaps and forestay slides apart from the mast. But more recently, we developed the trend of losing our rudders. This time, fortunately, we only lost half our rudder. So if you look to your right, you will see we're still doing 7.8 knots, 8 knots, with only half a rudder, and we are going on. We're not despondent. I've issued a gin and tonic ration to all men, and under our inspirational guidance of our leader, there's a lot of apple juice for the cabin boy. We don't want to infect him. And that's what's happened. And it was quite exciting. The kite all flew away. We got that down very professionally. Got the head still up. there was a brief debate about whether we put a reef in, but Edward said, no, keep the cameras up, it's bloody right. And we're about 90 miles. Oh yes, one thing particularly must be mentioned to the camera. A, two things. Graham was on the helm when it broke, right? And number two is we did over 50 miles on our 6-hour wash, even with a broken rudder. So we're like fucking outstanding. What else do you want to know? Is that it? Hooray! So hooray! Cheers!
God
Hooray!
save the Queen.
Never say die!
There's the Empire.
Hooray! So we will.
Phil Hewitt, top trimmer on Hooligan 5. Phil, can you just give us an insight into what you're doing with the spinnaker at the moment, please?
Oh, I'm letting it out to the flaps and then winding it in again. It's getting a bit more difficult now because we're putting soak down. We've got to heat it up a bit. The wind being all over the place. As Graham will tell you from last night, it's oscillating between 45 and 345. How's that?
Well, very good.
Friday lunchtime at this rate. Not breakfast. It'll be light airs tonight. Light lunch, yeah. What are we doing now? 7 knots. 8 over the ground. So 8, that's 100 miles by midnight. So when we put the crew together at the beginning of the season, and Ed selects those guys who are actually going to appear on the race circuit with him for that year, he's looking for 3 qualities. Skill, obviously, people need to know how to sail. Commitment, they need to be able to put their back into the season and turn up for things on time and ready and well prepared. And finally, compatibility. And this often in the selection process, the thing that's skirted over most quickly, and actually when you come on a long race like this for a week, it is the most important of all the factors. To put 7 strapping lads in a 35-foot box and get them to live together and to race together and to eat together and to shit together and to sleep together is a testament to their discipline and their friendship. Often you'll find that race crews will go away for a race like this for a week, and half the crew when they get back will never ever talk to each other ever again for the rest of their lives. Fortunately, under the leadership of Edward, this is not something that happens on Hooligan crews, and here we are, we hope, in the final day now of our race to Cascais, and everyone's still happy and getting on wonderfully and just getting on with business, and looking forward to sharing dinner and several ales when we get to Cascais. And that's a good thing, and that means that we know what we're doing.
Ed Broadway, skipper of Hooligan 5. Ed, day 6 of the RORC Cows to Cascais race. How do you think we've coped since our structural failure and loss of half of the rudder on day 4?
The most difficult thing to cope with was morale. I think we started to lack of morale on the first 3/4 of an hour, except for the old Richard, who's been monkeying about ever since. But once the kite went up again, that was a turn.
Good.
I think we've been coping very well since then. We're running short on wet wipes, which is a significant problem. I think that affects morale really. We're worried about toilet paper. We've only got 4 rolls left, and John is thinking about using more. Apart from that, I think morale is high. The boat's going well. Big kite up, mostly under control. We found that we can control the boat better than we thought with what's left of the stumpy bit of rudder. And I think apart from the first 6 hours or so, it hasn't hindered our boat speed significantly.
Right. Yeah. Brilliant. Fantastic. Hooray!
Then the Rebel Maid trophy for the first IRM goes to Hooligan.
So here we are at the Restaurante O Pescador, which accurately describes my condition at the moment. I am completely Pescador, and it's what time is it, darling? About 1 o'clock?
2:30.
2:30. This is Graham, and this is the lovely street we're on, and James. Say good afternoon, John.
Good afternoon, John.
Perfect. Over here, sorry. Over here.
Oh, good afternoon, John.
And this
Oh, good afternoon,
crikey,
sir.
It's your full frame. So Graham, and this is Graham's crab. This is my there we go.
Slow movement.
It's Channel 4, and so Graham. Oh, there's his drink. Look, he's a bit Pescador,
John.
And what?
You're doing the interview, he's doing the talking.
Oh, sorry. So, Graham.
John sometimes forgets that.
Do you know what? Do you know what, Graham? I'm not going to ask you. Graham was my watch leader through the whole experience, and an able leader of men, and a fine
upstanding, honest, hard-working, diligent individual. You couldn't meet a better guy.
You're overdoing it.
Okay, right. Tell me, cows to Cascais.
Yep.
Go.
What's the question?
Discuss.
It's about 800 miles. Now, what's the question?
What do you think?
Fantastic. I assume you want me to recount my experiences or my...
Yeah. Show your bruise. Let's video your bruise.
No. A wonderful experience. A mixture of experiences. Not many lows, mostly highs, I have to say. A privilege to be with people that I respect and gelled with. A variety of conditions, from sort of heavy-ish winds to start with, and then warm, sunny conditions, windy as well towards the end. Many more pluses than minuses. In fact, I can't think of any minuses. And a wonderful place to arrive to. The welcome, the champagne reception was fantastic. The friendliness of the locals, the ambiance of just being in Cascais. We tend to forget the climbing into wet sleeping bags. That's all gone, that's all history. But we're now reaping the benefit of our previous labours. So, all in all, a totally wonderful experience.
Fantastic.
Okay. And the season?
I think that's a lovely summary of this terrific race that we've had. But I'd like to, if I can, briefly ask you about the season as a whole, because Graham, you've done every race apart from the Easter Red Funnel Challenge, and you have done more races than anybody this season, and so therefore you're probably best placed to answer this question. How do you view the season as a whole with Hooligan?
What's going to happen?
What do you think?
In some ways, a blur, due to the fact that there's been so much sailing and it's been so enjoyable. The time has seemed to flash by. The weeks have been moments. It's full-on racing. A complete season is a total commitment, and there seems to have been very few days when there is nothing on the agenda that needed to be done. So the whole season as such has gone very quickly. But I think as a crew and as a boat, we're ahead of where we were at the start of the season, so that's a positive. I think you can never achieve all your ambitions and all your goals, but we've achieved some of them, and we're on the way to achieving others. Many more positives than negatives. One of which is sitting in front of me, because I do actually like crab.
And that was it?
Graham has had crabs, for those of you who don't know that.
You can get lotions.
Right, John, that's enough.
Right, it's flashing green
No,
on the screen.
do you need to press the red button to
stop.
Here we go.
James, this is James Pearce. James, come on, you're 18, you're a man now.
Lately of Bishop Stortford.
Yes, lately of Bishop Stortford School.
Currently unemployed.
Right. Currently unemployed, and there you go. That's better. I've got your spots are not in it now. Right. This is James Pearce in a wonderful restaurant, the same one we were in, the Pescador, which is what he is right now.
John, don't move too jerkily.
I know, it's Channel 4. So James, now,
slow movement.
what do you think?
About what?
Tell us what.
No, what do you think? This is the longest race you've done in your life to date. That would be your life, I suppose. That's a tautology. Longest race you've done in your life.
Tautology from Tortola.
A truism.
What do you think?
Oh no, you like Tortola as well?
To be honest, I was actually very nervous at the start.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So was I. That's a good thing.
Because well, I was nervous at the start of the fastnet as well. It's just trying new things. And
is that because you were afraid of buggery, or?
Well, I became afraid of that about halfway through the race. Ritual sacrifices were mentioned. And mention of the bowsprit.
Let's talk about yacht racing.
But I suppose because I think I've worked quite hard to try and get to where I am now, and this is probably the pinnacle of what I've managed offshore so far.
Wow.
The longest race, probably the longest I've done for quite a while now, and it's the last before I head off to the States. So I was looking forward to it and regretting it slightly. I don't know.
What was your low?
Apart from the first.
Hang on. Wait for this. What was your low? Zoom in.
Apart from being sick for the first 2 days, I really didn't have one. I made sure I enjoyed the whole race, and I did. I can't say there was a single bit that, of course, it's different emotions all the way through, but thank you, Graham. But not necessarily negative emotions.
Okay, and zoom out. What was the high? What moment did you think, fucking hell, I want this to last forever? Did you have one of those moments?
I did.
I hope we never get there.
He was having a wank.
Graham, I'm filming this. His mother's going to see this. Mrs. Pierce. Mrs. Pierce, James did not masturbate on board, okay?
Well, we never caught him.
Notice me.
Probably just before the finish.
He's done it quite a lot since we got to Cascais, though. We know that. Anyway, sorry, James. The high. Where was the moment you thought, I do not want this to end?
Just before the finish, when we're in the final 30 knots of wind, I must admit I really enjoyed that. Though it was foggy, it was horrible conditions. Well, supposedly horrible conditions, low visibility, high winds, and we had a slight rudder problem. I must admit then I thought, this is why I do it, and this is why I'd like to do this the rest of my life. And I think that's sort of pretty much put it into context why I chose what I have.
Fantastic, James. Final question. At that moment in time, as we were in 30 knots of breeze, doing 12 knots in those big rollers going around the headland into Cascais, when I asked you to go below and get the winch grease, did that heighten the excitement? No. Stop.
W for wide and T for telephoto. Telephoto.
You remember what that crab looked like?
Big.
There it is.
There ain't much left.
Empty.
And it's been a wonderful crab. And when I die, I'm going to be buried at sea so the crabs can have me back. It's fair enough, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And that's a wrap.